Today, we're going to learn some different ways you can ask for and give your opinion. So let's begin. Number 1, asking for someone else's opinion. This is something that we do in our daily life, right? So let's see a few phrases we can use to ask for another person's opinion. What do you think of? What do you think about? How do you feel about? And what's your opinion of? So again, we have what do you think of? What do you think about? How do you feel about? And what's your opinion of? Do any of these look familiar to you? Let's take a look a little closer at how we can use these questions to ask for someone's opinion. So you may have noticed that there was something a little different in those 4 questions. What do you think of, for example? When we use a question like this, we are asking, what do you think of something? For example, what do you think of pop music? So here, if I want to ask about someone's opinion about pop music, I could ask, what do you think of pop music? And here we see, what do you think of something? What do you think of that thing? Let's look at a few more examples. So here again, what do you think of? What do you think of Italian food? So what is your opinion? How do you feel? What do you think of Italian food? And again, we see of something. The other question we have that ends in of is, what's your opinion of? So of course, if we want to ask someone's opinion, we can ask, what's your opinion? If we want to ask their opinion of something, what's your opinion of the new Billie Eilish song? So here again, of something. And let's look at one more example with what's your opinion of? What's your opinion of our new teacher? So, of something, of someone. The other kind of question we have ends in about. So here, when we use about, a question that ends in about, we are not talking about something, but about doing something. So let's take a look at how these questions are a little different than the ones that end in of. What do you think about going to see a movie? So this is kind of like a suggestion and asking someone's opinion about doing something. So, about going to see a movie. What do you think about that? Do you want to do it? Do you not want to do it? What's your opinion about doing this thing? Going to see a movie. What do you think about getting some coffee? So, this is something I might ask my friend. Hey, what do you think about getting some coffee? It's similar to asking, do you want to or would you like to do this thing? We're just trying to ask what they think for their opinion. Our 4th question, and the last one that ends in about, is how do you feel about? And again, we see we have that same structure, about doing something. How do you feel about going for a walk? Or how do you feel about taking a trip tomorrow? So, key point. Remember, when the question ends in of, like this, what do you think of? What's your opinion of? Then the next thing that comes after is a noun. What do you think of pop music? Of Italian food? Of this new song? Of our new teacher? And when our question base ends in about, we have our ing verbs, doing something, going, getting, taking. All right, so these are our 4 questions we can ask. What do you think of? What's your opinion of? What do you think about? And how do you feel about? If you're listening in now, please go ahead and how about try to ask me some questions in the comment section, and I'll answer them at the end of this lesson. So, of course, now that we have talked about asking for an opinion, the next thing is giving your opinion. So when someone asks you, what do you think of? How do you feel about? How can we respond? Let's look at a few ways that we can do that. I think, I feel, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, personally, I think, and if you ask me. So we're going to look at these 6 different ways we can share our opinion. Some a little more simple. Let's take a look a little bit closer. So let's look at the different ways, 6 different ways we can give our opinion. First is a very direct and informal way we can give our opinion. This is a way we might talk about our opinions with people we're close to or people we are comfortable with. And these are, I think. So, for example, I think English is interesting. I feel that it's best to go to bed early. And in my opinion, the movie was boring. So these actually, they can be used in any situation, but they're maybe a little less formal than our opinion phrases over here, which are, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, rock music is better than pop. So this is kind of a polite way of saying, this is just my opinion, right? I respect your opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, rock music is better than pop. It's just my opinion. Similarly, personally, I think. So this really is just a little bit more of a formal way of saying, in my opinion. Personally, I think winter is better than summer. And again, we're emphasizing this is just my opinion. Personally, I think winter is better than summer. It has a little bit of a different tone. It's a bit more polite. And last, if you ask me. If you ask me, Vietnam is the best travel destination. So again, our kind of more informal or everyday use phrases are I think, I feel, and in my opinion. And if we want to be a little more polite, or we are just trying to say, oh, it's just my opinion, we can say things like, as far as I'm concerned, personally, I think, and if you ask me. Okay, next, let's go ahead and put these together and see some little mini conversation samples of asking for and giving opinions using these phrases. Okay, number 1. What do you think about going out for some Italian food? I think that's a great idea. Let's go. So here, remember, when we end our question stem with about, we're talking about doing something. What do you think about going out for some Italian food? I think that's a great idea. Let's go. Okay, let's see some different ones. What's your opinion of the last Marvel movie? If you ask me, it was the best one. So here we see a question that ends in of, so we have a noun next. What do you think of the last Marvel movie? And then we give a very polite opinion. If you ask me, it was the best one. Maybe your opinion is different. It's just my opinion. If you ask me, it was the best. And one more example. What do you think of studying English? Personally, I think it's difficult but rewarding. So here we have an exception. Usually, as I mentioned, we have of and then a noun, but we can use verbs as well. What do you think of doing this thing? Personally, I think it's difficult but rewarding. So again, emphasizing, oh, just my opinion. Personally, I think it's difficult but rewarding.